Welcome to Yo-11 Minutes. Yo-11 Minutes, mostly Vegas, no BS, casino experience, and more. Michael Traeger is a casino and travel loyalty expert who also helps people turn their travel dreams into reality. And now, Michael Traeger. How's it going, Michael?
It's going really well. How's it going with you today?
It's going really well. Thank you for asking. Enjoying living in Vegas. Got to hang out with Hagen 2 Cent last night. And if I wasn't living out here, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So, really liking it so far.
That's cool. Is there going to be a video of that? Should I mark my calendar?
Yeah, 2027 probably is when they'll get around to it. They're a bit tied up with editing work. So, yeah, 2027, you can definitely see that on their channel for sure.
Yeah. So what is it? Waking up in Vegas, right? It's like Movestra waking up and do you play that song actually? That should be your wake up song now.
You know what? That's going to have to be my wake up song for sure, because when I start my new job that begins at 4 a.m., I'm going to need something to get me going when I set that alarm for 3. So that's a good idea. I'm going to be sure to do that.
I bet one of the most interesting things about having recently moved to Vegas is not everything even clicks right away of all the things that you have access to. And I'm not talking about gambling. I'm just talking about like everything that Vegas offers. Because, one of the things that I always think about when I come to Vegas, as mostly as a leisure person or for conventions, is I'm always thinking to myself, what do I have to get to? Like, do I need to get to the Mob Museum for this, or do I want to go to that? And now all of a sudden you live in that city. You don't have to like have that list of things that you never get to all of them because you get so busy when you get to Vegas.
Yeah.
So it's got to be sort of cool conceptually, I think. But I think it's going to take you a while to like come to terms with that, like to truly be like, wow, I live here.
Yeah, it dawned on me the other day that I could actually go pick up pizza from Pizza Rock or pop-up pizza and bring it home like a regular pizzeria. It's just like, and I can do that whenever I damn well like. So it's interesting, man. It's interesting.
Yeah, no, it's like no other city in the world. That's definitely a topic that we'll definitely further be diving into, because I get so many things I think about. Wow, if I lived in Vegas, I would be checking this out or checking that out. But like I said, it wouldn't all come to me at first. So what's going on? What's going on in Vegas, or what topics sort of like hit you in the last day or two?
All right, let's get on with the news and views. Silverton Casino Lodge has reopened hotel rooms. Silverton Casino Lodge, the same organization whose social media team don't know the visual difference between craps and roulette is, as evidenced by this tweet last week, has reopened their hotel rooms. Rooms at the newly renovated Silverton Casino Lodge, which have undergone a complete $40 million renovation, are open, creating a new boutique hotel experience to anchor the casino resort. In addition to new rooms, guests are also invited to try new experiences like Wine Time, a self-guided nightly wine tasting experience, and Social Hour, a refined happy hour. Also, Sundance Grill has resumed its 24-hour-a-day format, providing its menu of American favorites day and night, and Silverton's award-winning Twin Creeks Steakhouse returns its operation to 7 nights a week. The Silverton renovation also included new casino carpet, which probably should have been the tweet, as Vegas Twitter is thirsty for new casino carpet tweets. Nevada boosted by Strip Baccarat win, August gaming record has been set. Aided by a strong hold in Baccarat on the Las Vegas Strip, Nevada set a record for August gaming revenue, marking the 30th consecutive month it has exceeded $1 billion. Year-to-date, state gaming revenue is up 3.6%, while the Strip is 5.8% higher through the first 8 months of the year. The Baccarat win of $116.2 million increased 20.2%, or $19.5 million, and the Baccarat drop of $661.8 million increased 5.9%, or $37 million. Baccarat's hold percentage was 17.6 versus 15.5 last year. One area to watch going forward is slots. The August slot win recorded its first year-over-year decrease in 2023 and the first decrease since July of 2022. That's it for the news, and now it's time for the views. Michael, what are your thoughts on what's happening at Silverton, and do you know if they have a good loyalty system?
Well, I don't know a lot about their loyalty program, though. I mean, it's it seems okay. I mean, what I'm sort of interested in first, though, is the fact that they're using the word boutique hotel, and I can never exactly figure out what a boutique hotel is. So that's always something that's very interesting to me when I hear about descriptions of hotels. But I did pull up their loyalty program. I've pulled it up once or twice, and it seems pretty decent. I mean, obviously the coin in for slots is much better than video poker, and they have the very famous line about table games where point values are based on game played, average bet, and time played. And that's what's interesting is most casinos say that, but Rio is actually saying something a little bit differently, which we should pay attention to, which I might get to on another episode or maybe at the end of this episode. So it is interesting. And I thought your comment about the carpet was sort of cool because that is true, the changing the carpets. I mean, does that make it a boutique hotel too? Like, is there boutique hotel carpet? This is the stuff I wonder. But Joyce on Twitter yesterday was sharing that they were changing carpet at Wynn Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And what's sort of interesting there is it looked like similar carpet. So I don't know if it was just for wear and tear or something else like that. So it's always interesting to know what casinos. I mean, you have some casinos who seem to never do any preventive maintenance, and places like Wynn that do a lot. So I'm curious to learn more about this boutique hotel.
I never quite understood what a boutique hotel was either. I just know that Bill's Gambling Hall became the Cromwell, and it was a boutique hotel suddenly, and I don't know what the hell that is, man. I'll be honest with you. All right, and now it's time for the tease.
Yes, and the tease today is Baccarat. And is it good if the casino is winning more money at Baccarat? Per the news story, we were talking a little bit about, or Movestra was talking a little bit about, the Baccarat win. And that win helped to make the overall profits and numbers. Because when they talk about win, they're talking about the casino win, not the players win. And that's sort of interesting. And a lot of times what people, one of the things that I think about immediately is like, is there an impact on your comps if a casino is winning more money? And usually that's not necessarily the case, because there's a lot of variation of why casinos will give additional comps to players, or why casinos will, quote, overcomp players. So that's something, to think about. A lot of times casinos that are underperforming will provide better comps, or casinos that are looking to grab market share, like the Rio is an example, or Mirage Rock is an example. Sometimes they'll do it. So it's not necessarily that the casinos, because they're winning money, will give more to the players. Now, on the other end of that, casinos that are making money should be providing a better level of customer service. So you would figure that they wouldn't be cutting back on employees and things like cocktail waitresses or the number of people working a check-in. So, because obviously profitable companies tend to want to give you a good experience, and they have the money to pay those employees. So it's something to think about. Like, no conclusive answers on that kind of thing. I don't think it's like a good or bad. And also these numbers vary. The difference between wins at something like Baccarat as compared to something like slots are all by the random number generator. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty level. Like, they have a hold percentage that, a return to player, and the casino is going to get their edge. Baccarat, there could be huge shifts and huge deviations from high rollers who are betting 100,000 or 200,000 a hand. So even though it's a low percentage game, you've got this deviation that happens when, a player gets really lucky and comes in and wins $10 million in a weekend, which can pretty much so shift the profitability of an entire casino, which is also why casinos are very cautious about, things like maximum bet. Like, a lot of times people will say, why do they only have a certain max bet at a casino? Well, because if a player goes on a run or is lucky, the casino wants to sort of restrict how much that player is going to be able to bet. So a lot of times the downtown casino might have $2, $3, $4,000, $5,000 max bets, whereas on the Strip you might have 10, 15, or 20,000, because casinos, of course, want to limit their exposure sometimes. So that's sort of interesting to think about. What do you think?
Well, I look at it this way: if a casino has a win on any game, overall year after year, they should at least replace the carpet, because people just love that shit. All right, before we wrap things up, do you have any closing remarks?
Not a lot of closing remarks today. I've been seeing a lot of chatter about the MGM hack, and you can find quite a bit more online about how that happened, but nobody's going to really know for sure. But one of the things that they're saying is that the social engineering that happened was disabled. Somebody got them to disable two-factor authorization on some very high-level accounts. I can't believe how that could happen. But way more interesting than that is Rio Las Vegas has sort of given you the whole formula at the Rio Las Vegas website about Rio rewards and what your gaming and spend and everything is going to get. And unlike Silverton and like a lot of casinos, they're actually telling you how you're going to get points for games like blackjack, table games like blackjack, and as well as slots and video poker and hotel spend and things like that. So I think that's really, really interesting. I'm still a little perplexed because they just show an example of what you would earn for 3-2 blackjack, and they're doing it in a way I've never seen before. So it's something we're going to discuss at another time. But definitely, like we said before, they're making some moves at Rio, and that's going to be very, very interesting to watch.
Interesting to watch indeed. I'm glad they're spelling it all out, so that you know exactly what you got to do to earn those rewards. That's good. Sometimes it's just a mystery on some websites. Alrighty, well, that's going to do it for today. Luxury travel booking, TravelZork Travel. Visit us at TravelZorkTravel.com to plan your next amazing vacation. And please join the conversation on social media. You can find us easily. All social platforms are at TravelZork. We'll see you next time.